Welcome back everybody into another daily recap. Today is the 23rd of August and as always we're going to have a look at what happened during New York session. So as you can see immediately from looking at the chart, it's very clear that today we had a very huge bullish move and we were going to see why it happened and from where all this price action happened and what PSAs it broke. So as you can see here, price reacted at the demand area immediately in the first half an hour of New York and then just went straight up around 200 and plus pips, reacted then in this middle of price action and then went more or less 60-70 pips as a small pullback. Let's jump on the 1 minute. But let's first look at the live ideas, live screenshots that I always take, live analysis of the price action. So as you can see, this is the analysis that I made at New York Open of what happened during the London. So this was my supply area from the previous day, and that's where today the reaction happened during London session. Let me just, sorry, okay. And we're going to see, as you can see, this is the same reaction, very strong reaction supply, giving you possibility of in total 100 pips, but even as a scalp, 60-70 pips from supply back down to demand. So I was also analyzing that, okay, maybe you have the high risk high reward entry. Let me just show you the picture. High risk high reward entry at the top of the supply area, then you had safer entries with multiple confirmation with bearish move, reaction of course at these previous lows, and then the pullback sell. That's because of why this is not a new higher low for price to continue up. First of all, it's not happening at a strong demand area, which might be this, but it's happening in the middle. And then where is the liquidity coming from? The liquidity is coming from the supply area. So from supply down to demand, in my opinion, is just pullback sells. You see this candle very strong, engulfing, pullback sells, pullback, failure to make new highs, reaction in same level, sells, down to demand where you can't sell anymore. You won't sell here because you are too close to the demand area. But first, that's what happens into New York. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at New York Open and what the price action does. So this is pre-New York. This is New York Open, exactly this candle, and price already bounced from a possible demand area, supply area on the bearish side, as you can see, not as strongest one, but still also PPL, and bounce from there. And so New York Open just made its way back down. As you can see, you have this pullback and failure to make new highs, and for further continuation sells. This is after New York Open. So you have New York Open staying below the level, respecting the supply, and then continuation bearish. You have a first reaction at these previous lows, but still the PPL is intact, and price continues very aggressively to go down. This is the COMEX Open candle, and you see price is even going and retesting these previous lows. That's also what I saw this, but okay. At first I have this demand area. This is 1731.9. Why is it there in the middle of nowhere? That's because it's the last low that was touched yesterday at this was New York, the 10 a.m. candle. Remember the pullback? That was a sort of 50% pullback, 61.8% pullback, and we had this area charted up as the previous highs where price could reject. That's why today I had this demand area, and at first I saw the reaction here So that's why I said, okay, but maybe I placed the demand wrong and should have been placed at the PPL, so exactly here, so that would be a buy setup, but I don't know, that was maybe some indecision, I'm not sure, but I was doubting that. Of course, then I see the price action, this was the previous demand broken, that could have possibly been turning supply. So that's why I placed a backtesting sell, because look at the size of the candle, look where the price is reacting, all the top wicks that the price is leaving. So as you can see here, the very next candle respected the lows. I can show you here on TradingView, respected the lows, the highs, sorry, and then closed bearish. So that would have been your entry for like 30 pips, scalp back down to demand. But if I was looking, I mean, okay, but what doesn't make sense is, okay, so if this is a demand area, then I can't take sell here because it's too close to demand. I should be looking for buys, but by having the demand here, this price action doesn't make any sense. Where is this price action happening? And as I was saying in the last few days, okay, let's have a look. Where is this price action happening? And we go back on the left hand side to yesterday. Doesn't make sense. Yes, we had some reaction, but it doesn't really make much sense. It's not like we have a huge, it's useless to go back. It's not like we have a huge PSA over there. Price broke it multiple times. It's not like this one down below. But if we keep this on 1731.925, something like that, then it makes sense. Okay, it's in the middle. We, of course, it doesn't have to be perfect on the dot, but the price fails to break below this the PPL. That's, I mean, even if you add a buy limit over here, it's only 10 pips, so it makes sense. And most of all, it makes me, I want to put it perfectly. Okay. I think it was perfect. Okay. And I was saying that even if, okay, if it's placed like this, as it should be, then you have your further confirmation of buys, because, okay, the demand has been respected just in a couple of candles, showing you weakness, and then the wick, and then closing above the PSA. That should be me looking for buys at a huge demand area, because that's where the price reacted yesterday. So that's where I should have entered buys if I was fluid enough. I missed buy because I was not really understanding the price sensitivity areas. Was up, was down, removing it, placing where price already reacted. That was forcing the PSA to the price action. That's not good, because of okay, yeah, reacted there, but doesn't mean so. If it reacts here, this is okay. No, the demand area was down here. No, doesn't make any sense. Let the price move and go where it really needs to go. And okay, go back there. And then the PSAs are charted up previously and have to stay there. So that's the first missed entry. So afterwards I was, okay, I'm not going to take, I mean, I see, okay, two things. I see this is my entry for the day, 60 pips. That should have been my entry for the day. I saw these price actions, so I said, okay, my setup is okay, I know what I'm looking for, and that's good. And so for me, even if I didn't take any trade, for me, that's the day. That's what in the future as a trader I will take, and that's it. Done for the day. If I took that entries. Of course, I stay on the chart because I want to have a look at it, and okay, I start the good things about today is that I started to live looking at this retracement, and I said, okay, now we made this rejection. This is almost the new 4-hour open, and we made this rejection. We didn't reach the supply. Let's see if we have a retracement at 50% or maybe 60% PPL, then the price can continue bullish. But since the price was not reacting, that was reacting just 25%, I was not really confident in that. But that's a good point of today, being able to not just looking at it afterwards, but okay, that's okay, let's have a look at it live. Anyway, what will happen afterwards is that price will very slowly make its way up, waiting for the big news at 3:45, which is 9:45 Eastern. Already price was slowly making higher highs and higher lows. I was not feeling confident. I was not looking for trades. You can see now that the price made the retest of these previous highs on the dot, closing bullish. So if you were either already in the trade or you were already looking for buys, I mean, this is actually a sort of flat candle body support. But I mean, that's a good trade to take when the price retested multiple times these lows. Even New York Stock Exchange opening and staying above these previous highs, that should have been a good trade confirmation. Even for these 20 pips, you are already 20 pips in profit. You place your stop loss at break even for the news. The news came out, and the news are this one. Oh no, this is the before. Let me show you. Okay, let me open this. I thought I had the screenshot. Okay. From today. And I only want USA. Today, only USA. Okay, there you go. So as you can see here, we had the PMIs, manufacturing, composite, services at the same time, and all came very, very bad. Very much lower numbers than expected and previous. So that's why US dollar was very, very weak. So of course, if you were already in from here, this is your demand that was identified. If I was able to enter, that would be a great trade. We analyzed that the price was making higher highs and higher lows, much slower, but still, of course, the investors were waiting for this report to come out. And as you can see, price, even New York Stock Exchange, stayed above the previous highs. That's something that I missed live. I didn't see them, and kept making its way up, even slower. But then, of course, with the news, even if I entered here, I would have been, of course, in huge profits. But even if I was here, I would be at break even with the subset break even, because I don't want to get this same candle going in the opposite way. And that's how the price really clean, without any resistance, broke one supply area that was of course worthless, and then made its way up. It reacted first at this supply. Let me show you what I was looking for. First was I was looking at blah blah blah, PMIs. Okay, so I was looking for possible rejections. 1749, 1747. I mean, okay, it's PMI, but it's not like an NFP or Powell speaking. It's a PMI, so I was not expecting that much of a volume on the bullish side. So I was looking for supply sells 1749, 1747. which is this one. As you can see, price first gave me the rejection at the area. The point is that that would have been like a 28 pips scalp. Why? Because if we have a look, we can have a look now. This, I saw it later. The bullish move that made its way up from these previous lows, from where it started, all the way up, it's exactly made a retracement of 50%. So what I should have been looking for was buys. Why? We are a supply. Why should I take buys? That's because of fundamental reasons. So I know that these PMIs are very, very bad. It's not like, oh, okay, they are quite bad, but sort of as expected. No, the fundamentals are very strong in favor of gold going bullish and the weakness of the US dollar. So that's why seeing a retracement of 50%, I should have been able to, especially looking at the reaction at the PPL, to enter further buys at the candle close. So, or even at the candle moving. That's because of the fundamental reason and all the technical confirmation. But I was so much looking for sells, even as a backtester, that I was not able to be that fluid and adapt and be okay. Yeah, the sells maybe are good 20 pips, okay, but look at the price action. Where is it happening? This is something that I'm learning, and I did it here live with the Fibonacci slash, it's not Fibonacci, is the retracement, total retracement. But I should have done it live. This one I only did it afterwards. As you can see here, that's a 50% retracement. I should have been able to watch it live and possibly take these buys all the way back up. This other supply area, which was the top of these candles, was has been broken as well, and is more like the reactions were happening at this previous level of interest. So that's where the supply in the short term turned demand, and that's where we see a double top. Not that's where, but then we see a double top. This is the 10 a.m. candle that after pushing up, I was expecting this to be the end of the top week, to continuation down, but failure to break below the supply means that the supply has turned into a demand all the way back up. This is 40 pips, and then again, of course, now this is too late. This is London close. We have the pullback attempt to make a new high. Do we see a new higher high? No, failure to make. This is a clean double top at the same level, at the same PPL. You can have a look here. Same PPL. We have the reaction. Look at the candle close. Candle close. And the top wick. This is 1753.75. And then the price just went down and made its way down even lower than supply. Now, as you can see, with multiple reactions, that is confirming that the supply is still supplying orders, but it has been touched too many times for being relevant as it was like here, for being such a strong volatility and volume provider. This is a very clean, this will be a possible rejection area in the upcoming days, as you can see, and also this one. But so the main takeaway for today is, okay, don't remove the, get a fixed and proper and confident demand supply area, and then be able to do live where is the impulse coming from, where is it reacting, and see 50-75% looking for buys with fundamentals not stop looking for sells counter trend. And of course, enter here if you have the right PSA. But this is it, guys, for today. I hope you enjoyed. Nice price action. Still not able to profit from this, but we'll get there. Okay, and I hope you guys enjoyed and see you tomorrow.